In this lesson, we are going to solve this question I have on the screen here. So now let's start with it. The question says that we should prove that the square root of 3 is an irrational number. So let's look at how we are going to do that. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is that I'm going to assume that the square root of 3 is a rational number. Okay, so what this means is that we can write the square root of 3 as what? As a fraction. Okay, so where what? A and B are integers. And you know integers are what? Whole numbers. Okay, that's what positive or negative what? Whole numbers. Okay, and also B is, let me make it this way. B is not equal to what? 0. And then the fraction is in what? Its simplest form, which means what? The only number that can divide A and B without a remainder is what? Is 1. So therefore we start what? A and B are co-prime. A and B are what? Co-prime. Okay. So now let's continue. So from square root of 3 equals what? A over B. I'm going to do cross multiplication. So I have what? With 3 multiplying B to be equal to what? A. So from here, I'll square both sides and then we'll continue. So this will give me what? 3b squared equals what? A squared. Okay, so from here, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So this 3 will cancel out this 3. So therefore, we will have what? B squared to be equal to what? A squared over 3. Okay, so what this here means is that what? A squared is divisible by what? By 3. Because what? A squared divided by 3 will give us what? B squared. So we see that what? A squared is divisible by 3. And if a squared is divisible by 3, then a will also what? Be divisible by 3. So you see that what? A squared is divisible by 3. So you see that what? So therefore a will also be divisible by what? 3. Let's look at why I'm saying this. Okay, so I'll take an example. So let's say we have what? A squared to be equal to what? 36. Okay, let's see what? A squared equals what? 36. So in this case, I have what? A to be equal to what? 6. Right? Because what? 6 to the power to give us what? 36. So let's see if what? A squared is divisible what? By 3. So that was 36 divided by what? 3. And this will give me what? A value of what? 12. So therefore what? We know that what? A squared is divisible what? By 3. So let's see if A squared is divisible by what? A. So I have what? 6 divided by what? 3. And that gives me what? 2. So therefore what? A is also what? Sorry, therefore what? 6 is also what? Divisible by what? 3. So you see that what? A squared was divisible by 3. And then because of that, A was also what? Divisible what? By 3. So what you have here what? Is true. So if A squared is divisible by 3, then A will also be what? Be divisible by what? By 3. Okay, so now let's continue. So now you know that what? A is divisible what? By 3. Okay. Let me free up some space so that we continue. Okay, so now since a is divisible by 3, what that means is that 3 times a certain number c will give us what? A. So I'm going to say that what? A equals what? 3 times what? C. Where c is what? A constant. Okay, so c is a constant. Okay, so let's continue. So I'll come back to this part here. Okay, so let's continue from that part. So I'll take what? B squared to be equal to what? A squared divided by what? 3. But we know a to be equal to what? 3c. So therefore we will have what? B squared to be equal to 3c squared divided by what? 3. Okay, so let's continue from here. So this will give me b squared to be equal to what? 9c squared divided by what? 3. This will cancel out this 9 here. So at the end you have what? B squared to be equal to what? To be equal to 3 to be equal to 3c squared. Okay, so from here what I'll do next is that I'll divide both sides by 3. So I'll have what? B squared divided by 3 to be equal to what? C squared. So what this here means is that what? B squared is divisible what? By 3. And then if B squared is divisible by 3, then B will also be divisible what? By 3. Okay. So now you see that what? A is divisible by 3 and then B is also what? Divisible by 3. So now let's go back to the conditions that we wrote down from the beginning. So from this condition here, what we said what? A and B what are co-prime, which means what? The only number that can divide A and B is what? Is 1. But from what we've gotten here, 3 can divide A and then 3 can what? Divide B also. So therefore this condition here what? Doesn't hold. So we therefore see that what? The square root of 3 is an irrational number. So that's the solution for this question.